Hey guys, today we're going to get to have some real fun with our 2014 Chevy Silverado. We've got here the Iron Cross RS front bumper that we're going to be putting onto this truck. Hey, I'm John with RealTruck.com, and today we're going to show you how to install this. Okay guys, some of the really neat things about this bumper that we have here from Iron Cross, this is a new style, new design to take the place of your not so great OE style bumpers. This is going to be a direct replacement for that bumper, and the cool thing about this is that this bumper actually has your 2-inch receiver built right into the front of it. Comes with your mounting brackets, your bolt kit, your instructions, how to get this on the truck. And one of the other really cool things about this bumper is that it's made from 10 gauge steel with 1/4 inch thick mounting brackets. So you know when you put this thing on the front of your truck, it's on there to stay. So the next step of this is to get this on that truck. We've got our grill out, or we've got our top valance off our bumper. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to unplug our fog lights, which is just a matter of simply pressing the tab on the top and just press down on the tab and pull the connector straight out. Unplug both sides. And then we're also going to unplug this connector right here, which is for our sensors. These safety clips are a little stout, so I got to get something to get in there to pull that back. But we're going to unplug that, and that will release the harness to our sensors, and which we will eventually have to take out of this bumper and put back into our new bumper. And check out our video on how to install sensors in your bumper, and we'll show you how to do that too. So let's get this wiring all undone here, and then we'll start pulling this bumper off the truck. Once we've got our wiring all unplugged, the next thing we're going to do is to remove this brace that runs from the bumper over here to the frame. And what we need to do is take these 2 bolts out here and this bolt out here. We'll do that on both sides, and then we'll move on to the bolts that hold the bumper on, get those out. So there you go. Once we've got our bracing off the sides, the next thing we're going to do is start removing our bumper, and we're going to do that by taking this bolt here out and this one here out on both sides. So let's get those out, then we'll let it down, and there's 2 more on the top to take out. Okay, so now we're going to let this down, get the 2 out from the top. Should be ready to pull this bumper off of this truck. So once we've got those bolts out, then it's just a matter of getting this bumper and pulling it off the truck, just like so. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to pull these brackets off of here so we can get our new Iron Cross brackets on here for our bumper. So just take these 3 bolts out here, and this comes off. If your truck comes with the tow hooks in the front, in order to put our new mounting brackets on for our front bumper, you will have to remove the tow hooks. And that's a simple process. We're going to take this bolt out here, and on the other side there's 2 bolts on the other side. We'll pull those out, and then these tow hooks come right out of here. So once we get the tow hooks off, then we can install our mounting brackets. And there is a right and left mounting bracket. I guess in the instructions it actually says driver's side and passenger side. Well, this would be the one for the driver's side. And take note of how it's oriented on the front of the truck, so that you can know which one is which. So you want when you're looking at it from where I'm at, you want the biggest section of it would be to your right, and then it would be the side that has this piece in here going to the outside of the truck. Then you know you got the right one on the right side. So leave all the bolts loose, because we're going to need to adjust and orientate the bumper once we get it on here. So I'm going to put the bracket on the other side, and then we should be about ready to put the bumper back on this thing. We've got our grill and our valance back on the truck. So one of the things that you want to keep in mind is there in the instructions it tells you to remove the brackets that hold the valance on. Leave those on, don't take those off, because you're going to need those to reinstall the valance. So leave them on, and you get your grill back in, your valance on. And then we got our bumper up here lined up and ready to put back on, or put onto the truck. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab our bolts and we're going to start attaching our bumper to our brackets where we put our brackets on earlier. So we'll get that done, and then once we get our bolts all in, then we're going to go through the process of lining this bumper up, make sure it's straight and looking real good on the truck, and that'll pretty much finish this up. So what we're going to do then is we're going to attach our top bolt in the bracket, and I know it's kind of difficult to see that one because you got to kind of just reach up in there and feel where it goes because you really can't see it all that well. And then we're going to get our bottom one on this side. And then in order to do that, we're going to, well, actually I think what we'll do first is we'll put our top one on the other side, and then that'll help hold our bumper so we don't have to worry about it falling off. And then we'll move this bumper a little bit and put that bottom one on. So you can see up here on this side a little bit easier where that top one goes in up here. So we got that top one started on both sides. And now what we're going to do is we're going to let our jack down a little bit, and that should swing our bumper into alignment with the bottom holes so we can get our bolts in there. And then we'll move our jack around a little bit and start lining stuff up and get it all adjusted so it looks good on the truck. So we've got our bumper bolts all attached. So the next thing we're going to do now then is we're going to start the alignment process, and so we can get this bumper pushed up on where it's going to go on the truck and looking really good. So we'll get that done here. Okay guys, there you go. That's how you install the Iron Cross RS front bumper onto your truck. So remember, until next time, happy motoring. Hey guys, John here with RealTruck.com. I want to show you how to install the Iron Cross RS bumper LED driving lights onto this Chevy Silverado. What we did is we installed an RS Iron Cross front bumper onto this truck, and now we're going to put in the driving lights, and we're going to show you how to do that. Some of the really cool things about these driving lights are they come two to a pack, which is great because we have two slots in the front of our bumper for them, and they come with this easy to install, pretty much plug and play wiring harness so that you can install these if you want to do them individually. Our truck originally had factory fog lights on it, so we're going to hook these up to our factory wiring harness, and I'll show you guys how to do that too. And also you have your mounting brackets, which will help us to mount these in the bumper. Let's get these into the bumper. What we're going to do here, and you can see I've already got this one done somewhat for us, is we want to pull our factory wiring. This was the plug-in for our factory driving lights. And what we want to do is pull this wiring out of this wire loom, and then what we're going to do then is we're going to cut some of this off, like right about here, and then we're going to strip this back and install the plug from our wiring kit that came with our lights. So that way we can just plug it right into this harness, and then we can use our factory switch for controlling our RS fog lights. What I've done is I've went ahead and cut the factory connector off of our factory harness, and also I've cut the connector off of our harness that comes with our kit because we're not going to use that. And what we need to do now is just go ahead and wire this up, and it's pretty simple. As long as you got black, it doesn't matter what the other color wire is. That's going to be your ground, the black one will. So we're going to go black to black on this one, and then on this one our red one's going to go to this brown wire. And what that'll do now then is that will allow us to be able to use our factory fog light switch to be able to turn these driving lights on. So I'm going to go ahead and heat shrink these because anytime you do any kind of connectors like this outside of the vehicle where they're going to get moisture and stuff, these heat shrink ones are really good to use. Put a little heat to them. They also have a glue and a sealer in them that seals them up and keeps moisture and stuff from getting in there and causing problems with your wiring connection later. So what we've done here is we've shown you how to hook these up to your factory fog lights, your driving lights. So if you happen to have a vehicle that doesn't come standard equipment with those on it, then what you're going to need is you're going to need this wiring harness to hook it up. Very simple to use. It comes with everything you need. It's all fused, has your switches, your relay. The only thing you have to hook up is the wires going to your battery and to your ground. So it also has the instruction sheet comes along with it with your wiring diagram so that you can see how to go about wiring that up. So there you go. If you don't have factory installed, you can use this harness and hook it up. So having that said, the next thing we're going to do here is we're going to show you how to get these mounting brackets installed properly on your light. And what you want is that these are made of aluminum and also a rubber mount. The rubber mount is there so it takes the vibration out when you're driving. You don't have those lights bouncing like you see a lot of vehicles going down the road and the lights kind of look like they're flickering. Well, that's because they're bouncing and vibrating. So this takes that out of there so you don't have that problem. Now what you want to do is you want to use the head of the bolt that's running through this mount, and you want to place it into this hole right here in the slot. And once you place that in there, then you just want to take and slide that over. Now, you want to make sure that this half moon shape here goes down and around on here, because what that's going to allow you to do is going to give you a little bit of movement to adjust your light up and down just a little bit. So make sure we have that in the right spot. And then the same thing with the one for the other side, because it just so happens on the RS bumper you have brackets to mount both these on there, which is going to really make this thing sit in there solid and not be bouncing and flickering around. So let's get this up on the truck. We're going to take our light and we're just going to put it up here where these slots are. And I'll get my hands out of the way here in just a second so you guys can see this. But we're going to slide those down onto there and then just slide it all the way in. And then what we're going to do is we're going to snug these down, and then we'll make our adjustment on our light and pretty much plug it in and zip strip everything out of the way, and that'll pretty much do it. So let's get that tightened up. What we're going to do, back it off just a little bit here so that way we can kind of move the light around just a little bit to adjust it where we want it. Make sure we got it in the right spot outside here, that don't have one side sticking out too far and kind of looking a little goofy. And that looks pretty good there. So we'll tighten her up right here. Now, since we've got our plug from our harness that came with our light all attached to our factory harness, it's just a matter of plugging this in, click, and we'll get us a zip strip. We're going to zip strip this up here out of the way so that it doesn't hang down and catch on stuff or just kind of look silly hanging there. There you go. That's how quick, simple, and easy it is to install these Iron Cross RS bumper LED driving lights onto your truck. So there's only one thing left to do. Let's get this truck down and turn these on. And remember, until next time, happy motoring.